What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Yala Poppy from simphunter.com. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how to get respect in the OFM community. How to get respect. Because is this really going to help you with your agency? Not directly. It's not going to directly help you with your agency. But I can tell you that, and I'm not saying I'm the best at this or that like I'm the most loved person in OFM or like everybody respects me more than anybody else, but as a result of me putting myself out there and making content, I have developed a following. People, let me put it to you like this. A lot of people know who I am and I don't know who they are, and they like me and I've never heard of them. So you could say a lot of that implies respect. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. This is not a video about making content. What I'm going to tell you is how to get the respect of others in the OFM community. Now, I'm not sure I know this will appeal to some people, okay? I know there's people out there who are like, I don't care about that. Just give me the tip of the day. Just tell me how to get more subs. Just tell me where I can get a creator. Just tell me how to do a fucking payment on Cosmo Pay for Argentina. Like, okay, fine, whatever. This is not the channel for you. But if you are interested in more of the social maneuvering, let's say, I'm a pretty good guy to learn from. Just saying. I'm the guy you should listen to because, and this is the last thing I'm going to say before I get into it. But I have done a lot without being the most successful guy on OnlyFans Management, without posting earnings screenshots every day, without posting an inflow screenshot or like anything from, my bank account or anything like that. So when you think about in proportion the things that I have achieved, despite not flexing results ever really, it's pretty impressive. And you would think, the reason I'm saying this before I get into the actual meat and potatoes, the reason I'm saying this is because you would think the way to get respect in the OFM community is to make the most money or to show the fanciest cars or like show the best screenshots of how much money you made. And that's not the way to do it. That is not the way to do it. That may play a part in it, but that is not the one path you need to walk down if you want respect. Okay, respect is different than impressing people with you making a certain amount of money. Case in point, you've all seen it. Somebody posts a screenshot in the group, they post some cash or they post some, inflow screenshot or OnlyFans screenshot, and it's a lot of money. You don't immediately respect that person. Maybe you might think, wow, okay, that's a lot of money, but you're maybe even a little suspicious of that person, or you might feel jealous towards that person or envious, or you might think, who does this guy think he is when he posts that? So it's not that, okay? Now I'm going to talk about the four things right now. And the first one, and this is the most important one, and this is something that I see this rule violated quite a bit in the Telegram chats, and I know it's the internet, and I know we're all anonymous, right? But like, so, and the reason I say that is because when nobody knows who you are, and when you don't show your face, and when you're just a username, it's easier to talk shit, and it's easier to be a dick, basically. But the first thing is that you need to, if you want respect, you need to show respect. Okay, you hear it all the time in these like mafia movies or fucking samurai movies, but it's like, if you want people to respect you, you need to show respect to them. Okay, one of the things that, and I'll give you an example of, and this is unrelated to OFM, but where I go to work every day, I don't work from home. I go to a WeWork, which is down the street from my house. And I'm there every day. So like, I'm probably there more than anybody else. I'm there, I think total time, well, maybe there's like one other guy who's there all the time, but I'm definitely there more than the people that work there. But anyway, there is somebody who goes there now who, when I go in there, every time I walk in, every time we see each other, it's one thing, like some people say hi, some people say what's up, they like wave, give you a pound, whatever. But every time we see each other, he comes up to me. He's like, "Oh, hey, what's up, bro?" Gives me like this with the like hug and the pat on the back. He's like, "How are you? How's it going? How's this? How's that?" And he shows me a very high level of respect. And I don't particularly, not that I don't care about him. I mean, we're friends now. But when we met, when we're starting to get to know him, there wasn't anything where like I needed anything from him, or there was no reason for me to show a high level of respect to him. He's just another guy. I see fucking people there all the time. I see hundreds of people there per week, different people. And it's like, I don't particularly care about any of them. Like, I'm busy with my own shit. But because he showed me so much respect and he took such an interest in me and treated me like I don't want to say like a valuable person, but he really like just showed me respect. Now I show him that same level of respect. I have matched his level of respect, so that if I see him, now I'm going up to him with the whole fucking handshake, pat on the back, like, "Oh, what's up, bro? How's this? How's that?" I don't particularly care, but when you show somebody respect, it's not because you care. It's because that person is of a certain status and they deserve that type of treatment. It's like, for example, giving up your seat for an old lady on the bus. A random example just popped into my head. You don't particularly care about that old lady. You don't really want to give up your seat necessarily. But if you're not a dickhead, you see her, you're like, okay, this person has lived their whole life. They're old, they're frail. I should show them respect by giving them the seat. Or a pregnant, or a woman with a fucking infant. Like, you're going to get up and give her your seat unless you're a total asshole. So things like that, right? You show them that level of respect and they will show you the respect. So how does this work in the OFM community? Now, I'm not saying you need to show everybody respect. Obviously, you can pick and choose. I'm not saying everybody necessarily even deserves your respect, because there's a lot of poorly behaved idiots out there as well. But you know how to show respect. Be polite. Say please and thank you. Say something nice to them. Say something nice about them. Anyway, be respectful is the point. Number 2, this is also very important. Be a role model. Okay? Be a role model. Now, this makes me laugh because I'm not saying I'm a role model or everyone should be like me or anything like that. I'm just, when I make these videos, I'm just sitting here in my apartment talking to a camera, just being myself, honestly, and talking about my experience and trying to help, I guess, people who are newer than me, I would think. But when I say be a role model, what I mean is that what you want to do is you want to be the type of person that people look at you and they're like, I kind of want to be like them in a certain way, right? It doesn't have to be every way. It doesn't mean that you're a model citizen and people should want to copy you in every way. Obviously, the more you can develop yourself into your ideal person, right? The more you can aspire to an ideal, the easier it will be for other people to look at you and be like, wow, I can't believe he's done this. I can't believe he's done that. I can't believe he's changed in this way. And that will make people respect you. Here's some examples. And again, I can only talk about myself, but one could make the argument, and this is sadly harder to track now that my previous YouTube channel was terminated, but if you subscribe to that channel, you saw basically my beginning. You were able to go back and look at my first videos where I didn't know anything. The way that I spoke about OFM was much different than the way I speak about it now. I didn't talk about, making this amount of money or making that amount of money or having a certain level of success because I didn't have it. And now if you followed my progress, if you followed my journey, I have more success than I had then. I have developed much further. Things are going better, basically. So people who are starting out, they may look at that and they're like, wow, this guy, when he started out, he didn't have shit. He didn't know anything. And then he worked and worked and worked. He suffered. He struggled. He went through this. He went through that. He made some changes. He grew. And now he has a certain level of success. That inspires people. right? And it doesn't have to be that. It could be fucking losing weight. It could be, I don't know, getting better with girls. It could be fucking getting better at the piano, something. You've gotten better at something, you've improved in some way, that will inspire people. And the essence of a role model is somebody who inspires others to be like them. Now, one mistake that I see a lot of people make in the Telegram chats, at least, which is mainly where the community is based, is they indulge in negative emotions. And I say indulge on purpose, because indulging in negative emotions, and listen, I was a young man once, not a young man anymore, but once I was a young man. And as a young man, you are, number one, more sensitive. It is what it is. You are more sensitive as a young man. Because as you get older, you get more experiences, you go through shit, and like the stuff that pisses you off when you're young, the stuff that pisses you off when you're 19 won't piss you off when you're 39, because you've seen it 500 gazillion more times and it just loses its effect. So you're more sensitive, number one. You're quicker to respond emotionally. And the emotion that most men are comfortable with, really the only emotion that they're comfortable with, is anger. And when you express anger like that, it's, number one, it's obvious that you're expressing anger. Number two, it's a sign of immaturity. And I mean, very rare that somebody who is a role model will act immature. Doesn't mean they'll always be nice and happy and friendly and composed, but composure and maturity are two different things. So if you find yourself, what I'm saying is, like, notice a lot of people who make a ton of money, who do really well for themselves, who are otherwise, in my opinion, very admirable. But when they express anger in the chats, and they attack other people out of anger, I know in my head that they will not generate the respect of others, because that's not an admirable trait, right? It may make you feel better. You might think you're cool by like scoring points on somebody by saying something mean that, embarrasses them, but it's not going to turn you into a role model. It's not going to get you the respect of others. And if it does get respect from you, if it does get other people to respect you, it's not the type of people it's not from the people that you want, I don't think. It's going to be from people who value putting other people down, which, like, I don't care who you are. I don't care how tough you think you are. That's not, you don't want to surround yourself with people like that, because they're not on your side. They're not going to help you. And the second they see any weakness from you, they're going to put you down. That's just how it is. It's not, you don't want to build your crew from those people. You don't want to surround yourself with those people. I've been very lucky that I find myself, like, I'm covered in oil, and there's this like gap of, how oil and water don't mix. Anyway, I don't know what I'm saying, but like, I'm covered in oil. I oil myself up with respect. I don't know, whatever. It's like my 8th video today, so I might not be making sense. Anyway, the point is that if you act as a role model, if you act as your ideal type of person, then you will garner respect from other people. And usually what that means is being composed, being mature, being professional, and just kind of holding yourself to a certain standard. And it does not mean attacking other people, being a dickhead, and being rude. Number 3, provide value. Okay, now this is what most people think they do, or think will give them respect, is to provide value. And really what they confuse is showing off with providing value. Okay, you posting a screenshot of your good day where your model made $1,000 or got 100 subs in an hour or whatever, that's not providing value, right? Okay, it might be mildly inspiring to some people that have never seen that before, where it's like their first day on Telegram, they've never seen somebody flex a screenshot before. Might be some inspiration there for them, but it's not real value, right? And here's why providing value is challenging to define, because what value is subjective. What I value is different than what somebody who's brand new values, which is going to be different than somebody who makes $8 million a month values, right? It's all going to be different. So it's a little bit harder to define this, but for example, I'll give you some examples of providing value. Giving somebody some advice that helps them, that's providing value. I have provided, like, okay, I'll give you, here's an example. There are some people who have very big names, whose names you know, who, from a business standpoint, I there's nothing that I can do that would help them. Like nothing. Maybe nothing. Let's just say nothing. Like I'm down here and they're like way up here in business. And there's no tip that I can give them that will like take them to the next level, right? There's no money thing that I can provide that will help them. But if I, let's just say, advise them on an issue that has nothing to do with business, that will provide value to them. They will find that useful. If I offer them a perspective that I, as a result of my 40 years on this planet, have learned from my experience, and I'm able to provide some insight on something that helps them, they'll see value in that. And that person will respect me. Even though the difference in our relative levels of success or relative levels of fitness or relative levels of like where we are at in our own, phase of success, of development in our lives, there's a big gap. But because I was able to provide some insight on an unrelated issue, that person now appreciates me more, and that appreciation will lead to respect. I'm talking about real appreciation. Okay, I'm not talking about you doing something for somebody and them not giving a fuck. Okay, so anyway, let me try and get a little bit more specific. Providing value in the sense of OFM, this can actually mean a lot of things. That's actually why it's really hard to explain what providing value is. Because on the one hand, you have all the surface level stuff. Oh, I need more subs, I need more models, I need how to train my chatters, whatever. You give somebody a chatter who's really good, yeah, okay, you've provided some value, but that's all very surface level stuff. You have to, I would encourage you, if you're interested in social dynamics and in making a name for yourself and in like rising to a certain level in stature, let's say, regardless of your financial success, they're two different things, okay? They're two very different things. One is like how much money is in your bank account, but there's tons of people out there who have way more money than me, but nobody respects them. Nobody likes them. Why? Because they don't do these things, I would argue. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, number 4. Number 4 is you want to be the type of person that people like being around, okay? Now, in order to be the type of person that people like to be around, you need to talk. You need to communicate. That's step 1. You have to say things. You have to put yourself out there. There's no way around that. Nobody's going to like being around you if you don't fucking say anything. You're just a lurker. So, that's step number 1. When you do talk, I would recommend that you try not to be like, don't be a dick, don't be mean, don't make people feel bad about themselves. And you know the difference between making somebody feel bad about themselves and giving them constructive criticism or bringing something to their attention that maybe they didn't think of that would help them, that, they're headed for trouble, let's say. I had somebody come into my Telegram group yesterday and they talked about some business dealings that they had where they were paid a very large amount of cash for something that sounded kind of shady, but they assumed was legit. And they were very excited about it and very, bragging about it and showing the cash and all that stuff. And I said, I was like, you probably shouldn't talk about that in a public group because it sounds like it's pretty fucking shady and you might get a knock on your door soon. And, all of this can be used as evidence. So, I'm not trying to be an asshole to that person, but I'm bringing something to their attention that maybe they didn't think about, which I guess we could consider would be bringing value. And that's, again, like I said, being somebody that they want to be around, you could say, oh, I should cheer them on and I should say nice things to them and be like, oh, great job, bro, on that shady business deal. Like, nice cash you got there. Go spend some and have a great time. I don't know. I just didn't do that. Anyway, time to cut this one short because I am beginning to ramble. So thank you for watching this video. Click subscribe and like and comment, etc., etc., and I will see you in the next one.